everyone! I am back from the dead, but I need to do some catch-up. So, where was I? Funnily enough, I was in E-Space. Yes, Season 18 is one of those seasons, and for Crown Jewels, just to recap if you need a recap, I'm going through every season of Doctor Who, and also a bit more, but we'll get to that soon enough, I assure you. And I'm trying to find the best of each season. Yeah, that's the general rule. Even if the best of a season is pretty bad, which none of them are, can I just say. No matter the quality, I'm just looking at the best one, explaining why I like it. So, Season 18 is... I want to say mixed bag. Yeah. But, like, a variety of mixed bag. You've got your pick and mix, or so you get some of the good stuff from the pick and mix. It's lovely. You get your full circles, your states of decay. You kind of got some okay things, not your favourite by any means, not really that great, but and even the best of them, you know, you enjoy them. It's not fine dining, but you know it's gorgeous. But then you got some things that are pretty mid, but you know you enjoy them enough, and then you've got some stinkers in there. It's a very mixed bag, and I feel like the best the season gets is the E-Space trilogy. Logopolis also gets a shout, but I just think that's alright. I also think Warrior's Gate is alright. Both of them do have very interesting ideas. I just don't think from a writing point of view they're very interesting in terms of how it executes those ideas and the characters within them, but, you know, I think it's alright, you know, it's enjoyable. Naturally, outside of the E-Space trilogy, apart from Logopolis, I'm not really a fan. I thought I was gonna be talking about State of Decay this week, because going into Season 18 I thought it would be the best one, because it has been my favourite one prior, but actually I've found a new appreciation of Full Circle. Now, there have been honourable mentions in this series so far that are better than Full Circle. Season 18 doesn't leave a lot for me to choose personally, but to be fair, Season 18's not for everyone. I'm not the Season 18 person. I know plenty of people that do like Season 18, and I understand why. It's a very imaginative season. But I feel like the E-Space trilogy is, as an overarching concept, it has one good idea and doesn't really play much with it. Because the idea of negative space-time coordinates is interesting, and the storytelling potential is potentially infinite there. But they don't really do that. It's just used as a device that gives the Doctor and Romana some anxiety of if they're ever going to return. And Romana has her own thing of, does she even want to? And I would say all that character drama is paced well throughout the three scripts. I do think Christopher H. Bidmead, and I would assume it's Christopher H. Bidmead who did this, sprinkled it in nicely throughout the three stories. But the stories, I do think, are more individually interesting, because Full Circle is... yeah, I'll get into it. State of Decay is a very standard Doctor Who story, which there's nothing wrong with, but it's not... like, you don't need the E-Space trilogy for that. And Warrior's Gate, although does the most with the E-Space concept, isn't really in E-Space. Its coordinates are all zero. It's at the intersection. And the weird spacey stuff comes as a result of that. So E-Space as a concept, not really the biggest thing for me, but not from a lack... well, yeah, it is from a lack of trying, but what they did do, I did enjoy. But what about Full Circle specifically made me really like it this time? Well, I just like how the story is structured. It does start off with the introduction of the arc, and which I said was really well handled. Introducing Adric as a character, he's very much meant to be a very different kind of companion from the offset, and whether or not it works for people, like, naturally Adric is very popular to hate on. I don't hate Adric, I very much see what they were trying to do, and even then, he has his own merit on occasion, and I enjoy watching him. I also like the themes of, like, high society versus the sort of people viewed as the deadbeats. And Adric, as a character, is doing more than just be the new companion. In fact, the story, although the spotlight he is given metacontextually is very much he's the new companion, because the Doctor and Romana don't know that. Because you can, with certain stories, I think you can tell when the Doctor's like, yeah, you're going to be the new companion, like in Rose and Smith and Jones. But it kind of reminds me of like something like the War Machines, where Ben and Polly are very much highly focused on, but they're not necessarily treated as they're going to be companions per se, although they kind of fill in the companion substitute. But then again, so did Duggan. So we've had. It's not like there's a void. So it's weird. He's given that spotlight, but he's not treated as such, even though they know he's going to be. When I say they, I mean the production team. They definitely know. But the characters, not even Adric, knows. And not only does he have to do that, but throughout the story, he also has to act as sort of the mediator between that high class and low class. There's also a bit of a theme of gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. Let me explain. In the society, there's 3 sort of elder characters. They're called the Deciders. They make the decisions for the society. They're essentially a council of 3, but there is a chief one, and the chief one gets access to their knowledge, to the knowledge that previous generations have contributed to. But it's only ever been the first Decider who ever gets to do that. And it seems that every first Decider has decided to gatekeep this knowledge and lie to keep things good, to keep the peace, for the best of society. That's where the gaslighting comes in. The girl boss stuff comes in when we get all the juicy character drama with the third Decider. I forget his name. He's played by George Baker. He was great. He was honestly one of the better side characters because he did have some inner turmoil. I wish we got more of him because the inner turmoil kind of turned off like a switch or like a tap, whatever metaphor floats your boat. But it was just, you just didn't have the turmoil when it was convenient for the plot. So, there. I'm not saying the story's amazing, but I do really like how the Marshmen are treated. They're initially treated as something to be feared. They're treated as a myth, then we see them. Then one gets on board the high-class ship when they're trying to leave, and that's when the Doctor gets intermingled with them all. And the Doctor's treatment of it is very sympathetic and caring, and perfect characterization for the Doctor. It's weird, like the Doctor's usually characterized as this empathetic figure, but even for the Fourth Doctor, like the Fourth Doctor doesn't really have too many moments where he is that personified, but here he was, but it felt very much in character with this interpretation of the Doctor. It was a really good balance, and it really scratched my itch, and I think that kind of pushed me over to going, yeah, no, this is better than State of Decay. The thing is, I definitively preferred State of Decay going in, or at least I thought I did. Then watching it, seeing everything that Full Circle was really doing, as well as how good the characterization was. Like, seeing what it was doing, okay, equal pegging. Characterization, again, it's character. Character does good. I would say it's so great, but I wouldn't call it like anything particularly fantastic or phenomenal or necessarily groundbreaking. But it's unique and a breath of fresh air. And for that, I would say it's the crown jewel of Season 18. Who talks about Full Circle? I think it's great. What else in Season 18 do you find great? Actually, I'm genuinely interested to see what everyone sees in this season down below. And with that, I will see you guys next time for Season 19. There may be a more conventional pick, but not the most conventional pick. Although my mind might change. Who knows? Goodbye? Goodbye. Oh yeah, and the 4th Doctor and Romana are gone. I'm kind of sad. But do you know what? I need a change of pace. I've been a bit slow with my intake of Doctor Who lately. So maybe this change of pace will be for the good. See you guys next time for Season 19 and the 5th Doctor. Oh, fucking no.